On you, pal.
No, I can't do it.
Now the lights are on.
No,
I'd
I'd have to see it. Like, I'd have to see it, and I would do it.
What do you mean you see what?
Like, I hear you do it every time, but like, I'd have to see the script in order for me. Like, oh yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay, well, I'm leaving that part in. Welcome back to Division I Rejects. That was Cade Manzo folding under the lights and the pressure. This is episode 108, joined by himself, Cade Manzo and Trevor Lee tonight. Cade.
Breaking news.
No, we're not starting with that shit. Tonight's episode, we do not have a guest for you, but we do have some other pieces to talk about. Trevor, stop fidgeting with your microphone. We've got preseason All-Americans from the College Football Network. You saw us partner with them to release the top 25 rankings for Division II, Division III, and NAIA football last week. Our guy Michael over there also just released the first and second team All-Americans offense and defense. We're going to take a look at and review those today. That's kind of our piece for small college football. And kind of on that note, we were talking about it before this. From this point forward, we're going to take a team at the D2 and the D3 level, potentially NAIA. We'll see. We work that one in. And we're going to highlight them one a week. And we're going to bounce all around. You don't have to raise your hand. This isn't class. We're going to bounce all around and deep dive into these teams and try and provide some type of intellectual analysis about these guys. What is it that you're so eager to get out of your mouth?
Dude, I just got a great idea because we're sitting here talking before, we started rolling, but we're like thinking about what teams to pick. Let's just put out a thing, like, you know what I mean? Like a 2-series thing, like
poll.
One team against one team in D2 and another team against another team in D3, like a poll.
Like who would win?
And then, no. Just like a fan vote. Like what team should we, go into
Oh, okay.
And then just have
the
people do it. You know what I mean?
We could do that.
Post it on Twitter.
We could do that.
And the same teams on Instagram and like Threads even now.
Yeah.
Dude?
Yeah.
So.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like we had this conversation before and staged that whole bit.
No, but I literally just said that. Like I was.
Yeah. No, that's not a bad idea. But I mean, either way, however way we get around to it, check the socials. Instagram is Division I Rejects. Twitter is D1_Rejects. Threads is, I guess, the same as Instagram, correct? It's through Meta. So, but anyways, check those for polls. If we do end up going that route, we probably will. I like that idea. But we will be diving into Division II and Division III teams on each episode moving forward. So check Tuesday, that episode comes out. We will have something by then, hopefully something posted. But if there's a team on there that we should cover, and don't just do it because you play there or your son or brother or some relative plays there. If they're not remotely competitive, we're not going to talk about them. That's not news. You know what I mean? Is that fair?
Yes. I mean, unless something sick's happening.
Yeah, no, if it's a big time story, yeah, but like we're not out here like talking about we have to talk about competitive and good football teams out here. But besides the point, the rest of today's episode, we got a college football team that just remade Top Gun. Not something I thought I would say. Trevor sent it to me earlier today. Thankfully, he did.
It was sweet.
Shot for shot remake. Even got the Miles Teller dance down.
Was it really like that? Like shot for shot? Like
I didn't put it side by side.
I vaguely remember it, right. I vaguely remember like that.
It looked pretty good to me. Otherwise, there's I was going to say a new rule. There's like 3 new rules on Division I official visits when it comes to recruiting. And the numbers are absurd. So we're going to get into all that. Again, check the socials for those polls. We'll dive into some teams as we get on moving through these episodes. But as always, you can watch this episode on YouTube. If you are, fast forward to any of those topics using the timestamps on the bottom of the video there. Otherwise, listen pretty much anywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Check us out on Threads. Damn it. But let's jump right into this thing, guys. We can go start this thing off right with the preseason All-Americans. And we'll go on the Division II side first. The first team offense. Those will be the first ones that we bring up. And speaking of the devil, there they are, headlined by quarterback John Matoka, the reigning Harlan Hill winner from Colorado Mines. That is a team that I'm sure in the near future we will end up talking about because that offense is absolutely dynamic. The only thing that can stop them, the Dogs from Ferris State in that championship game. That was not the result I was expecting, having watched the Mines make their way through the playoffs, dodge and dip and duck and dodge past each and every team. But that offense is seriously incredible. And moving down the list here, Jada Byers from Virginia Union, Dwayne McGee from Lenore-Ryan. That offense in the SAC is poised to have a really large year. The flex, TJ Davis from Nebraska Kearney, wide receiver, Max McLeod from Colorado Mines, going back to that offense. That was like, I'm trying to think of an analogy, potentially at the pro level, or it's a big time. Cup? Yeah. Like, that's not bad. That's actually pretty, it's not bad, analogy-wise. Max McLeod.
I've never seen the kid, you know what I mean?
You didn't watch any of their games last year?
Well, I watched the national champion, or the Ferris.
I got you. But
Ferris played him, right?
Come on in, Jim. Hop on the couch. Yep. Special guest. There you are. Come on, man. We're going over D2 All-Americans. But McLeod was the guy this year as far as the Mines offense is concerned. And he was, on the other side, they had talented wide receivers and skill positions across the board. Obviously, you don't make it to the national championship without a very balanced attack. Yes. But Max McLeod was a guy who extremely good deep threat, efficient route runner, good releases, like kind of the complete package as far as the wide receiver game is concerned. But we can continue to come down the list there. Marquise Gray from Southeast Oklahoma State. Peyton Brown from Davenport, wide receiver. So we got a wide receiver from Davenport on the D1R athletes that we know is a dog, and Preston Smith. You add him to that mix with Peyton Brown, and that offense is going to be very intriguing this year because what's his name? Whitaker? Is he coming back? I believe he's done, right? He only had 1 year.
I don't know.
Can you fact check that for me real quick while we're going through the list?
I wish I could. The phone's dead.
Yes, it is. Oh, indeed. Jimmy will fact check for us. Jimmy Markham,
go,
there
Jim.
he is. Yeah. Bring him in.
Yeah, I was at the cabin with the family earlier today, so
Blessed to have you here. But we'll continue going down the list here as you look that up for me. But the Davenport offense is going to be has the potential to be pretty special. Their formula has certainly been interesting because they bring in a lot of new guys, man. Their turnover rate is crazy, and it's not just the players. We were talking to a kid that's coming here, and he said, hey, I had 3 coaches in 3 years at the same position. That's tough. That's really tough to deal with, right? Could you imagine doing that?
Well, yeah, that'd be really hard. Like, I've had 2 already.
You say, yeah.
And that seems crazy. I can't imagine 3. Like, some guys probably will have at least 4 when they're at Davenport. But
yeah, totally. So moving down this list here, look at Yogi Flager from McKendree. I don't remember.
I do remember him.
You do remember him. What number?
Freshman year.
Bring the mic up there.
I want to say it's not coming up.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought he was 3.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He actually, I think he quote tweeted it. I saw his tweet. You can look at it probably.
Did you? Yeah. But keeping down that list here, Devin Garrison, Pittsburgh State. That's the team we're probably going to dive into next week. The Gorillas ranked at number 3. Yeah. I believe.
They're good.
Number 4, I believe. Sorry, because it was Ferris, GV, Mines, and then Pittsburgh State. That team out of the MIAA, they've run that conference the last couple of years, potentially one of the best stadiums in Division 2.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, my.
Sweet. That's really cool.
Goodness.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So cool. And possibly the coolest mascot in all of
it.
Division.
Not going to lie, I'm
Gorilla,
with you.
yeah.
I'm with you on that. Yeah. Theirs is sick. They do the Gorilla Walk before the games. I don't know if you guys have seen, like,
what?
The Gamecock Walk. It's not a real gorilla. I mean, is that where your heads went?
No, I was thinking actually.
I thought they were
when you
all
said
like,
gorilla walk. You know,
I thought they were all walking on like all 4s out to the field.
I was like, what? Yeah.
No, so like they do I don't know if they call it the Garnet and Black Walk at South Carolina or the Gamecock Walk or whatever, but basically the whole team has this like long route to the stadium with fans on either side, and it's a really
Spartan Walk.
Yeah, Spartan Walk, a great example, and it's a great idea if you have the fans for it. If you don't have the fans for it, it turns into a walk of shame and a depression walk. Right. But Pittsburgh State packs that bitch out every week. And the picture of the stadium, you look up.
Good ball.
Yeah, you look up their stadium. They play good ball. People show up and they show out. And that walk to the stadium looks electric. So if we ever do some D1R on the road ever in the future, that will be one of the spots. Rounding out the list, though, can you look? Mike Reigerman from Findlay. A little GMAC representation there. Another Pittsburgh State Gorilla there, Trace Jeffries. I do believe he actually threw us a follow on the old Twitter the other day. Shout out to Trace.
Shout out.
Ty Cobb from Bemidji State. He's pictured on there, offensive tackle.
Hell of a baseball player.
O-lineman Blake Larson from Augustana. Then you have Jacob Bruce from West Florida and Hunter Hayes from Nebraska Kearney. I wish I could provide more in-depth analyses on those fine gentlemen. I'm sure they're all fantastic players. I couldn't. Really couldn't. Trevor, anything to add?
I can't say I can go into much detail,
but
I'm sure they're all great players.
I was just saying he left it. He left it on a note where I'm like, okay, you might get something out of him here. That's okay. But that is the first team All-Americans as far as the offense is concerned. We'll take a look at the defensive side now, headlined by our guy, Abe Swanson. out of Grand Valley.
Friend of
And
the pod.
you'll see another couple Division I rejects athletes make this list. That being the second one down on that list, Ian Marshall from Northern State, the defensive end that came in from Oklahoma State, shattered the single-season sack record and the single-game sack record for the Wolves over there, and we have the pleasure of playing him our last game this season, week 10?
11.
11.
We got 11 this year. So shout out the guys, Ian Marshall, Abe Swanson from Grand Valley, and then one more there. The newest Division I rejects athlete we tweeted out right before we recorded this episode, Sean Stevens from Ferris State. Very interesting story with him. I won't give the whole piece because I'm hoping we get him on here and he says it for himself. But this guy, man, super talented athlete. He has to step away from the game due to family reasons and files a personal grievance or a personal, I'm forgetting the name of the waiver that you, personal hardship waiver to the NCAA. They deny him. And so he's missing out on eligibility. He goes to West Liberty, tied for the most interceptions in Division II last year with 8. He had 4 in one
He had
game.
8 picks?
He had 4 in one game.
Holy
4
shit.
picks in one game is crazy.
That was obviously the record for
Yeah.
West
Yeah.
Liberty.
Yeah.
And West Liberty, reputable squad, but now, as you can see on the graphic here, making his way over to Ferris State, the back-to-back defending national champions, looking to three-peat this year. That's a huge pickup for their defensive secondary, and we are also very happy to have Sean as a part of the D1R athletes. So there's my spiel on the 3 guys here. I didn't really say anything about Abe, but do we need to say anything about Abe?
Yeah, we talked to him for a good 30 minutes.
I'm
that
gonna
one
say
night,
we
bro.
got his ear that one,
Yeah.
or he got ours. Shit, a little bit of both.
Yeah, that was good talk we had with him.
Reigning All-American, though, D2 Don Hansen All-American, and he was probably one of the first and obvious picks for this list, hence why he's up there. Other guys in this list, though, there are more guys than our D1R athletes, but who the hell would we be if we didn't shout out our own guys? That'd be lame as
Right,
hell.
you know what I mean?
Lubert Danellis, I can't read, there we go. Lubert Danellis from Benedict. We've got, talk about Ian Marshall, Andre Jefferson from Lenore Rhine, another one from down there. We've got Hunter O'Connor from Chadron State, Deshaun McCarthy, East Stroudsburg. There's Abe. Alex Kowalix from Wayne State, not our Wayne State.
I just seen they dropped new jerseys today.
Those blacks,
Yeah, I'm pretty sick.
yeah, we're gonna have to pull those up. If that was that's a good piece.
We should have.
Yeah, you probably should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna add that to our list. That'll be later on. Those black jerseys from Wayne State are
It's
clean.
weird saying Wayne State, like
Right?
not Wayne State.
Yeah, not the Wayne State in Detroit.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
other
Yeah,
one.
the
Are they
Wayne
both?
State in the NSIC.
I believe, I could be wrong. I think this is that Wayne State College? The
Yeah,
one?
they're Wayne State
Yes.
College.
Yeah, okay.
as opposed to university.
So there has to be some sort of
Yes,
difference.
there
There's
is,
got to be. That'd
for
be
sure.
way too confusing.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at those jerseys a little bit later. Definitely stick around for those. As we move down this list more, Devin Roush from East Central, and then you have JT Cavender. Now this guy, there's a funny story behind this. He plays at West Texas A&M, and JT was at the conference in Baltimore with me, the NCAA Student Leadership Conference, and I had the pleasure of meeting JT and a couple of those guys. He's like, I mean, as far as like looks go, pretty unassuming dude, but you shake dude's hand and you're like, yeah, this is one of those guys. He's just one of those guys.
Right.
And had the chance to watch a little bit of his film. He's a dog, obviously. So I think we're going to have the chance to get him on the podcast here real soon. So shout out to JT down there at West Texas. Another like stadium. Oh my goodness. Did you see the one on our tweet when we put that out?
Yeah, I'm gonna look right now. I was going through that.
I can go ahead while we're talking about it. I can go ahead and pull it up.
'cause, like
But
I
West
see all the
Texas
pictures,
A&M,
but I
man.
just like forget who is who like on there. But
My goodness. I mean, maybe we just do a segment on this afterwards of all the stadiums. Maybe we just resort to that. But that stadium, you can have a look for yourself. Absolutely ridiculous. But continuing to move on, we talked about Sean Stevens, our newest D1R athlete. Trey Morrison from Wingate. That's a team that has potential, again, in the SAC to make a lot of things happen. Now, they're in the Mountain Division, which is the much less populated division as far as winning teams go. That sounds really callous. The Mountain Division of the SAC, the Southern Athletic Conference, Newberry, Wingate, Limestone, Lenore Rhine, all these teams who were like 7-3, 8-2 last year. The only reason they potentially didn't go undefeated is because they're beating up on each other. Then you have Wingate on the other side of that conference in the Piedmont, I believe, the Piedmont Division, the Mountain Division. And they're the ones that actually are a dark horse, end up making a run, defeat the 1 seed in their super region, and went to, I believe, the quarterfinals in last year's playoffs. So exciting stuff there. Excited for a big year from Wingate. And moving down, Daniel Bone from CSU Pueblo. Tristan Rankin from Mars Hill. Mars Hill had a big year last year. Expecting a lot of things from them. Dylan Bartholomew from East Stroudsburg, another solid squad. I mean, which of these aren't. You got All-Americans in your squad, you're going to be decent. Ross Brungart from Emporia State at the punter position. The return specialist is Red Douglas from Shippensburg, and the long snapper is Blake Arnault from Newberry. So another sack guy right there. I don't imagine there is, guys, but does anything jump out to you about the list? I had to at least pose the question. Nothing?
Let's see.
Fair enough. Anyway, with that being said, the Division II.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All-American
The thing is,
offense.
if I knew people, like if I
Yeah.
if I was watching them, play and watching the film and shit, then yeah.
I was on there. I
Yep.
saw that. Yeah.
So this is the Division II All-American offense. Quarterback Patrick. Is that a Shegog? Yeah, Shegog from Delta State. I have not. I can't personally say I've seen him play. I've seen what their team can do though. And last year they had a hell of a year down in
They
the
scored
Gulf
a lot
South.
of points. I don't remember what they averaged,
Yes.
but I know they scored a lot of points the whole year.
Yeah, you know what? I can actually pull that up right now because their team had quite the run last year in that Gulf South, and that's a conference that we don't usually associate with Delta State, at least in the history, because you think Valdosta State, you think West Florida in the last couple of years. Those two teams have been absolute powerhouses in that conference. But last year, Delta State, they go 11-2. And you're like, wait a minute. They beat West Florida, who was number 6 in the country at the time, 45-42 in double overtime. Then they go and they play number 13, Valdosta State. They beat them 70-31. They beat them by 39 points, Valdosta, who just a couple years ago was in the national championship, right?
Yeah.
Then you go and you beat North Greenville, solid squad, West Alabama, Shorter, Mississippi College. They play against on all home games, number 15, West Georgia. That was one of their 2 losses. Lost by 10 points to West Georgia. Then they go into the playoffs. Fayetteville State, the rematch against the University of West Florida was ultimately their doom. Actually, they lose 38-27. But 11-2 for Delta State. Really impressive stuff from them. And Patrick was a big part of that, obviously, being the quarterback. That no question why he's up there. Limestone.
Right here, right there.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Wild guess, right?
I wish I said I didn't get
You
that on
know,
the
the
camera.
quarterback wearing Delta State.
No,
I didn't get that on the camera. He pointed at it. But continuing to move down there, Trey Stewart from Limestone. There he is, also on that graphic in the sack. Jordan Terrell from Barton. Shen Butler Lawson from Minnesota State. That's a team that we talked about quite a bit actually, because them and Bemidji State were both ranked really highly in our preseason poll there. So 2 big-time contenders from the NSIC. And moving down, Darius Willis from Michigan Tech. That is a guy who we saw firsthand when we played up there at Michigan Tech. I would assume y'all can offer, Cade, you probably speak to what he can do.
I watched a lot of film on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, he's just thing about him is like he's so dynamic.
Had him on the pod too, by the way, a while back.
yeah.
So definitely go
He's a
back
good
and check
dude.
out that episode with
Friend of his
Darius.
pod.
He's a good dude too.
Seems like a very
Yeah.
smart player, too.
He
the way he plays.
he's very dynamic in regards to he can go out and play X and come in and play the what's on the inside H.
Yeah.
He can play the
The
H.
F, yeah, whatever you're thinking. But
So, yeah, they
dynamic
moved on.
also on the fact that he threw a touchdown
Yeah,
against
he
us
did.
and then caught
Yeah.
one.
Well, shit happens, so.
But Darius Willis, great guy. We had him on the pod. Like you said, Trevor, very analytical dude. Like you could tell, he's a cerebral player, and it definitely shows. But dude still likes to have fun. Like he was hitting the gritty in the end zone after the game he had. Cannot blame him. He might be one of the only guys in the country that could throw a touchdown, catch one, and run one in on you, which is pretty crazy to say. Continuing to move down the list there after Willis, you've got Dev Holmes from New Haven, who just lost their starting quarterback. He was drafted to the XFL, Connor Degenhart, who we talked about a little bit on this program. But they're poised to have a pretty big year, actually. Gage Florence from MSU Moorhead, Kyle Sheets from Slippery Rock in the PSAC, CJ Kiss from Notre Dame. That was one team I was very surprised did not make the top 25
Notre
Division
Dame
II
College.
rankings. Yeah. Really surprised by that because that's a team that's been around for a
they're-
long
they've
time.
been really good.
They've had, I'm using air quotes, down years for their program the last couple of years. A down year for them, decent year for anybody else.
Yeah.
Right?
3 losses.
Yeah, so that Notre Dame team, expect them to bounce back and do it pretty well. Tommy Washington from Newberry, a lot of sack representation on this list. You've got Justin Meade from Virginia Union at the offensive line now. Gabe Brown from Grand Valley State, back to the GLIAC. Mitch Goff from Northwest Missouri State, some team we haven't talked a whole lot about on this show. And then back to the O-line at Grand Valley, Garrett Carroll. And there you go, 2 picks from that GVSU front 5. David Bodden, the last pick there from West Georgia. And there we have it. We'll buzz through this little piece here. That would be the second team defense All-American team from all these rankings, obviously from the College Football Network. Shout out to him, but also just to say, like, hey, we don't make these rankings, so good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. Don't freaking
just
come
a little bit
after
of analysis,
us,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
We're just
lists.
we're breaking them down. That doesn't mean I
Yeah.
sat through last night and put these lists together, right? I do agree with a lot of the pieces of these lists. I will say that for sure from what I know, but like we all know, you can't know everything. So
You don't know until you know.
kudos to this guy. Right here. A couple familiar faces already. You see Ferris and Wingate there as a couple of the featured players.
Right.
Marquise Fleming from Wingate. That's the featured defensive lineman right there. Part of that squad. They're going to have some big pieces on both sides of the ball. Then you have Armani Burden from Virginia Union. That might be their third player on these lists. Virginia Union was ranked in the top 10 in that Division II preseason poll. Excited to see what they do this year. Do believe is that potentially an HBCU? Don't know off the top of my head. Jimmy, did you ever get news on that Davenport, or did you forget about that?
No, he's a senior this year. This will be his 5th year coming up here.
Whitaker. So Whitaker is back for the
Whitaker's
Panthers for Davenport.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah.
That's really big for them because he tore up the league for a little bit there. I think he was GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week for a couple weeks.
I mean, so he threw up this stat line the week before. It was like,
Before he played us
yeah, it was ridiculous.
against.
I don't know who it was, but you could look it up and it did show you. But he had like 437 yards, like 4 touchdowns. Like he was going crazy.
404 is like, yeah.
He had 400 yards. I think.
And 4 touchdowns. Yeah, damn.
So here's a stat line from Jason Whitaker, who he was named the GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week. This was back in September 26th. I believe you're talking about Northwood. Is the game that it looks like you're talking about. Davenport won 51-17. He set the school record with 5 touchdown passes, did so in the first 36 minutes of the game. That is absurd. He tossed 4 in the first half, the 5th coming at the 9-minute mark in the third quarter. Also set a school record accounting for 6 touchdowns as he had a 1-yard scoring run in the second quarter. He finished 21 of 29.
Yep.
And then he had the second best passing yardage day at
415
Davenport.
yards.
360 yards in this one.
Oh.
Also had the highest completion percentage of 72.4 of a quarterback to have thrown at least 20 passes in a game. Davenport also set a school record with 586 total yards en route of the Timberwolves. That's nasty.
Yeah, I knew. No, that was then we played them a week after.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yep. Hell of a game by him. And you talk about him, the wide receiving core that's coming back. We'll have to see what that front 5 looks like and what their backfield looks like. But you got to imagine they're going to have skill players, and they'll have some big guys up front because Davenport does not lack size, ever. So, very interesting to see what they'll do. But back to this list. Where are we at here? Devontae Bryant, West Alabama. You got defensive lineman Ian Hall from Ferris State. Linebacker Clay Schuffner there from Winona State. We haven't talked a whole lot about them. John Ross May from Lenore Ryan, about their 3rd or 4th player on this list. And then back to Wingate with linebacker Devon Gilmore there. Isaac Voldstedt from Northwest Missouri State, not Mississippi. Hello. And now the final couple here, Kahari Watson from Angelo State. That's a team who, top 5 in the country, haven't seen a whole lot of representation on these lists, which is pretty interesting. Michael Brown from Indianapolis. Andrew Pitts from Angelo State, another one there. And then Amos Coleman III from Texas A&M Kingsville. Nick Herbert, the kicker there from Delta State, we talked about already. The punter Joe Couch from Wichita Baptist. That might be first team all name.
He gotta have a massive beard or mustache.
He's gotta get like an NIL deal with like a couch.
Dude, can we set that up for homie? Actually.
I'll DM him after this.
Will you? What did your mic? Check the connection on the mic there. Just unplug it and throw it back in. I think got a little loose. But Joe Couch, that might be first team all name there, the punter from Wichita Baptist. The return specialist, Trey Avavo from Minnesota State. And then you have long snapper Zach Fry from Shepherd. Was that the only Shepherd player on any of these lists, the long snapper?
Yeah, and they're pretty high, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like 10?
I believe they're in that
Or
in
9?
that area. Now you lose Tyson Bagent, and you lose not only Bagent, you lose Bagent, you lose Shepard, who's in the 49ers, you lose Ronnie Brown, that dynamic running back out of the backfield, probably one of the fastest running backs
The
in Division
offensive
II.
lineman.
That was Joey Fisher.
Oh, Fisher,
Yep.
yeah.
Then they also lost the tight end who signed a UDFA deal with the Baltimore Ravens. And you're like, holy shit. 4 guys going from that D2 team to the NFL.
Yeah, that was
How do you
nuts.
replicate that success?
Do it again?
Next man up.
Do it again. That's pretty good. That is that's pretty
You
good.
asked me how to
You're not
replicate it.
Yeah,
That's
no. A little bit easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
But
do it
okay,
again.
something that we wanted to take a look at here. That's all for the All-American teams, but we kind of talked about it right in the middle of that. Are the new jerseys from Wayne State football?
Those
And
are something
boys,
else. Those are something
we can
else.
take a look at these because these
Not Detroit, Wayne State.
Not
for
Wayne
everybody,
State
'cause
University,
Most of our audience is
Wayne
probably.
State. Yes.
This is the Wayne State in Nebraska.
Thank you for
correct?
clarifying. These are in Nebraska. If you cannot tell by this guy's haircut, they are definitely in Nebraska. But on a serious note, this is Wayne State College, not Wayne State University. I don't care, college, university, school of technology and arts. These jerseys are hard.
Yeah,
Those are
snapped.
sweet.
Yeah, those
It
Simple.
kind of looks like
Those are clean.
Northwest Missouri's pants.
Oh, with the
Oh, because of the little claw right there?
Yeah.
I kind of see that.
Yeah.
that. But I'll show you, go through a couple pictures here. We might be able to actually get the little announcement video pulled up here just in just a second. But, I mean, with black and white jerseys, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you keep it simple, and that's the very safe way to play it with these.
Yeah,
right? Because you
yeah.
let the black or the white really do the talking. And on these, I think they totally did that when you have the yellow that contrasts so well.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see our whites, bro.
Yeah, dude, look at that.
With the
So what are
chain,
those?
too.
What kind of material are we talking about on the helmets there? It almost looks like is it like a matte?
matte black? Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
it's
about
like a
to
matte
say,
black.
Yeah,
Because
I
those
like
are
matte black.
those are crisp.
yeah. Those sharp looking uniforms.
Very. And how about the chain?
What the
Like
sleeve?
the
The
weight room?
tattoo sleeve too.
Hell,
Come
shout
on.
out 90.
Shout out to number 90.
90 did a couple. 90 definitely over under on how many push-ups he did in preparation for this photo shoot, though.
I'd say you put it like
Couple.
10 and a half.
couple.
You said 10. You said the over under at 10 and a half.
Well, yeah. If there's a guy if that's like a habit of yours, like you take push-ups before your pictures, you're not gonna rip out 2 and then be like, yeah, I'm good.
I was gonna say like 25.
Oh. What do you think?
That's
I
a
don't
big. That's a
know.
big ass dude. I'm just saying 10 push-ups. You probably don't even feel that. But we can keep ripping through. There's a better look at kind of the full unit. The white gloves. How do we feel about white gloves? The gold gloves would be the move,
Yeah,
right?
Gold.
Or
Gold gloves would be
black.
Sweet.
Now this actually reminds me a little bit of the UW Oshkosh uniforms, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks a lot
Oshkosh
like
has
that.
some
Yeah.
pretty clean, dark uniforms that I do remember. Shout out Kobe Berghammer, I think was one of them, and then their
Yeah.
receiver was another. I don't know if Berghammer had the glove on, but their receiver definitely had the one who caught one of the tuds against us. He had the gold gloves. I remember just looking at him pregame, I'm like, clean fit. That's a clean little thread right there.
Yeah.
And I think was there one more? Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm sold on the white gloves.
Yeah, the white
jerseys
gloves
are
don't
dope.
go,
God,
but
just
You
they
don't
don't
think so?
match. They don't. The white gloves
They don't match.
match.
No.
It doesn't match anything. There's
No, it really doesn't. Does he have shoulder pads on in this or no?
No, I think that's like the jersey folded up because like I feel like you'd be able to see it more.
Why does his wrist look broken?
Yeah, I don't know. His wrist looks.
Yeah, I have
little-
never seen somebody have a muscle in that area of their arm.
That dude's
His arm's
swole,
either
bro.
dislocated or he's been doing a little like some of these.
Look at his other arm, though.
Just
It's the
all
same
day.
shit. Look at his other arm. It's like a dip.
looks like a linebacker or a fullback.
We're hating on this, guys.
No, we're not
hating. No, we're not
We're
hating.
actually kind of like
No, we're kinda
shouting him out because
props.
it's impressive
Yeah.
almost.
It does look. His,
Hey, he'll beat my ass.
oh, no shit.
I don't really know. I'm not exactly sure what's
With
going
those
on with
white
that.
gloves.
But no, the white gloves are whack. I can't lie. I cannot get behind the white gloves.
Who's taking these pictures and was like, "Yeah, go get your white gloves and put them on." Like, come on.
I guess it kind of is matching because it's the Under Armour. But
I would
Matching
assume-
brands and
No,
matching
I know,
colors
yeah,
are totally
Jimmy,
different
I would
things.
assume all their gloves are Under Armour if they're an
Yeah.
Under
The
Armour.
jerseys. The jerseys.
Yeah, man.
Let me see real quick if I can't grab the actual video that was associated with this because they did have quite the sweet video here, but I have to go back and take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, as far as the jerseys go, like that's pretty clean. I do have the video right here. We want to pull that up? I say yes.
Yes.
Oh sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Sweet.
Oh sure.
Let's take a
By the
look.
way, do
What do
not
you say
take
here?
those seats for granted because I've been turning up. My neck's getting.
I know.
I'm dying over here. I need a brace or something.
Oh my goodness.
That's
All
where
right,
I used
well,
to be, Jim.
Yeah, I know.
we can before we talk about any of that, let's take a look at these. The volume up. I'm not sure if it
This looks
is.
like Star Wars or something.
You're gonna see. It almost is like a little bit of a lightsaber vibe. There we are.
That's about, yeah.
Lightsaber accent. Luke Skywalker. That's clean. That's
Oh,
the
he
black
is
gloves
Yes,
are clean.
there
Those
you
look
go.
good.
There's the black gloves. Under Armour again, too.
Maybe they're just really big gloves under the lineman.
Hard.
Yeah,
That's
good.
sweet.
that
Like
was-
hard,
that
for
was clean.
sure. Like
That was
that.
clean.
Like, first of all, can we get shout out to the creative
To the
team
media
over there?
team,
Like
yeah.
that was
Shout out-
badass,
shout out to
dude.
that media
They
team,
killed
for
that.
sure.
They actually killed that. Like kudos, hats off to you guys because kind of the flow and everything. Like this little sequence that comes up right here with the glove and then the cleat
The
right here.
vibe, like the vibe is
And the
sick.
sound design is clean. I had the sound turned up for that first playthrough. I turned it off now that we're just talking about it. The sound design was clean. Like
So
you
they're
get
not Under Armour because they have Adidas on.
those that says Under Armour
The
right
cleats, bro. Go back to the
there.
cleats.
The cleats are Adidas?
Yes.
You're telling me they did they actually show
Watch.
Adidas cleats with the Under Armour unis?
I think I saw
All right, we're
three
gonna let's
stripes
we get to
shoes.
the bottom of this.
Oh.
Oh, shit!
That's 3 stripe gang right there.
Got his ass. Got his
Oh
ass.
man.
It's like that one oh
I think
shit.
those are Adidas.
The headphones,
socks,
yeah.
dude.
It's like that one dude.
They are Adidas socks with Adidas cleats. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Wayne State College.
Well-
what are we doing?
Well, think about this though. What if they don't get like shoes or gloves supplied to them?
They have to get those.
You don't know.
They have
you don't
to.
know. I mean, we have
Why
to look
wouldn't
at like
they?
the funding. Well, I mean, at least for us at Stout, I mean, it might be a little bit smaller budget, but we don't get gloves or anything like that.
You don't get
Yeah,
cleats? You have to get cleats.
I didn't get cleats.
Really?
No, I mean, maybe it was just because I got there for the spring.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, I was talking to my
I
buddies.
feel like they got to throw you
No,
cleats.
because
I feel
like,
like it's necessary.
Because like
almost.
on my visit there, they're like, yeah, we'll get you like cleats and gloves and everything. And then I show up like a month later, and they're like, yeah, we don't have cleats and gloves. But like, it's not like a big, I'm there to play football. I'm not there to like wear like cleats and gloves. But like, I
But
need
like you kind of
those.
do need cleats to play football.
Yeah,
at some
yeah.
point.
But I don't need them like I don't know. I don't need them like given to me. I can just go get them or something.
I hear you. But either way, again, kudos to the media team over here for knocking this video out of the freaking park.
Yeah, that's a nice. Video.
We might have to get a little flag prop for the old photo shoot.
Yeah.
Do some shit like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly they were thinking with the lightsaber.
Now we got Kobe brainstorming for his own stuff now too.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know exactly what they're thinking with the lightsaber, but I think it works with the black, like that rim light right there. Dope. Yeah, pretty clean. I think that's about all we need to talk about on that, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff from Wayne State there. And we can move on to talk about, what do we say, fellas? Do we go Top Gun or new rules for Division I visits?
New rules.
New
Finish
rules,
off with Top
New
Gun.
rules, and then finish off on a little bit of
Cool vibe.
yeah, a little bit of beach football. All right, so before we get into that, here we are, and this is kudos to the Football Scoop, great source of all things college football. The NCAA is increasing official visits to 70, and they're extending the removal of the signing limit. That's the headline for this article. We're going to talk a little bit about what that means here. And the basic premise, guys, the Division I Council on Friday approved a proposal from the Football Oversight Committee to increase the number of allowed official visitors from 56 to 70. Division I, first of all, let's say Division I. This is a Division I rule. A school can bring in 70 kids
At once?
technically on an official visit. I don't
Holy shit.
believe that's at once. I think that's probably a year. I'm assuming that's got to be a year, correct?
I don't know, dude. I feel like that could be definitely be one like weekend or something.
There's
Because
no way.
No,
There's
because
no way.
think
Because
about an
there's
official
no.
visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know like the different? Because do they pay you to come out there, like or for the official visit, like pay for like your flight and stuff? Is that
Yeah.
what official
Yes,
is?
they
Okay,
pay
okay.
for that. They're
Okay.
paying for your flight. They're paying for your lodging.
Your
They're paying
stay,
for your
yeah.
food. They're paying.
Oh, okay.
So you're not bringing in 70
Like, think
kids.
about it, bro. Remember
You're
when
talking about
Arch Manning went to
Oh yeah.
and they spent like
yeah.
$1.5 or $100,000 or some
They
shit.
built
or
him
like
an
some-
ice sculpture.
It was like
or something.
wasn't it like $1 million or some shit?
Yeah, it was
An
something
ice
crazy.
sculpture?
Like,
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
they did. You didn't remember?
They
that?
did.
Oh, I
Like,
didn't see that.
There was an ice sculpture for Arch Manning.
Yeah, there was. That,
Why was that in Texas? I don't know.
His last name. is
Yeah,
Manning,
dude, that thing probably lasted 30 seconds. Are you serious?
Well, dude, like you got to think like Archie. Do you think he'll be or Archie? I don't
Archie.
know.
Arch
Yeah, but is he? He'll probably be the 3 at Texas this year.
behind Ewers and who's the other one?
Hudson Carr.
Hudson Carr.
Yeah, he was like the number 8 recruit. Hudson Carr was, but then obviously
I mean,
Warriors comes
he's
in.
also.
So this piece comes off news that the rule limiting recruits to 5 official visits, which was a rule that was in place for quite some time, that is no more. The Division I Council removed that a little while back. Recruits are they're officially can visit as many schools as their schedule allows, but they are still limited to only one official per school, provided there is no head coaching change. So if there's a head coaching change, these recruits can head back and obviously get acquainted with the new staff and new workings or whatever. But I have to imagine this number of 70, that is a yearly number. You're allowed to bring in 70 guys on an official
it's
visit.
got to be, dude.
You're not bringing 70 guys in on a weekend. That they don't have. College football is a big money industry. They don't have that kind of money. They don't have the buku bucks to do that. The increase comes on a trial basis for now. It's a 1-year period beginning on April 1st of. So it's April 1st of 2023. So that's passed. So it's already in effect. I don't know why that was just part of it, but moving down here, there were some other pieces to this as well. Is that the council extended the waiver, removing the initial counter limit for Division I football programs, which now lasts through 2024-25 athletic year. So it used to be the rule was that you could only bring in 25 players. That was like the initial counter limit. And this rule was put into effect because teams were signing more players than they could bring on. They're offering 200, 300 players. You can only bring on 25 at a time, they were saying. So between high school, JUCO, transfer, all that stuff, right? Walk-on scholarship. You only bring on 25 guys. They've totally removed this rule. And programs are permitted to sign as many players as they want, provided they remain at or under the 85-man scholarship limit, or for FCS, the 63 scholarship limit. I don't know how I feel about that. Because that's encouraging
guys on a team and like just filling beds, dude.
No. That's not really what it's about. I mean, they still can't give out more scholarships than 85.
So what they can
take
do,
more walk-ons.
they can promise like PWOs, hey, like
yeah,
next
walk-ons. Sorry, Trevor. Walk-ons were not part of this original ruling. I believe the 25. 25 is scholarship players. Then now that's taken. So it's really just affecting the scholarship players.
So you can take as many as you want.
So now if you're Deion Sanders and you inherit a team that you lose half of it immediately, which is already into effect, they're just extending the waiver that removed that count. So Deion was already able to do this. Imagine if Deion came into Colorado and, okay, you lost 30 to 40 scholarship guys, which I think he did actually.
I think he might have lost more than
He
that.
might have. You might be right. But say that happens and the NCAA is telling him, hey, you can only replace 25 of these guys on scholarship. The rest you just would not be able to use? Is that? So it's a good thing, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's for teams like if you have a rebuild or like a coaching change.
Yeah.
So you can actually fill a team is essentially what it's for, I think.
Yeah. The only thing I don't love about it is that it's going to really encourage the use of the portal and really getting deep into the portal and just if something's not working out right now, boom, brand new portal guy.
Yeah, and like
Right?
that's the thing. It's like you don't want college football to turn into like NFL free agency.
It's damn close.
Don't
It is
I
damn
It is.
know,
close.
but like I mean, obviously, I've benefited.
It
From the portal,
is
but,
there,
like,
dude. It's there.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a little different when you get a little bit older. If you graduate or something, you need to go to.
Well,
a different school
you
for-
could
for
always
education. Yeah, of course, but like
You've always been able to graduate.
yes,
Yeah.
and exactly
Very
and
different for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, I benefited from it because I stuck it out in Northern for 4 years, graduated, but then it's like. I could have went for a year and be like, oh no, I want to leave. But like that's the problem. It's like too many kids are just showing up and playing for a year and then leaving. But
Totally.
I think not to go into the transfer portal tangent, but like there just needs to be more knowledge on it. Like I feel like these kids, we've talked about it so many times.
They're making kind of rash decisions.
They're
man.
making rash
like
decisions.
really quick,
Yeah.
emotion-based decisions. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
exactly,
Logic,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Totally agree. Now, another piece to kind of touch on this even more. Ole Miss, they infamously signed 37 recruits in 2009. 37.
It doesn't even make sense.
Like, wow. But it's just like you're signing players you don't have room for, which is pretty wild.
How many players can you have on a roster?
That's a great question. I have
If you sign
because
37.
obviously you're only allowed to have the 85 at the FBS level. You're allowed the 85 scholarship athletes, but then from there the lines get kind of blurry because if you look at like Ferris State, for example, you could scroll through that roster for days.
Yeah.
These guys don't even have numbers, but they're on the team.
This is
So,
gonna be really random, but the first thing that came to mind for me, like, what did UAB do? Like, did they get an exemption? Like, remember that they lost their program for a couple years?
Remember that?
And then came back. Like, did they
That's
get
a great
an
question,
exemption?
actually. I don't know the answer to that, but that's a really good question.
They had to have.
Yeah, something.
Because they didn't have, they literally did not have a team.
I mean, for that situation, you would assume
They got
that
an
the NCAA
exemption.
would give them some type of leeway to do that because how the hell else would you be able to reinvigorate a program?
I mean, yeah, you'd hope so.
And it's not like they're like a legit Division I program.
Oh yeah,
They're
really
like-
big
They're in
time.
Conference
Yeah.
USA.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are they still in Conference USA, or are they making the move? Because we just talked about conference
I
realignments.
feel like we
the
talked
other day.
about them yesterday.
I think we
Or
did,
not
or last
yesterday.
episode.
Last episode, yeah.
I don't remember. All right, Louisville,
Yeah.
Yep.
let's do it.
Louisville.
Let me get the
Louisville.
I say Louisville.
I say Louisville
Fuck
too.
some up. Let's get this guy pulled up here. And the first playthrough, guys, we're just gonna watch and we're just soak it in. How's that sound?
Did you see this, Jim?
I don't think I have.
All right, hold on here. So this video is from Louisville football, and for those who have not seen Top Gun, it might not make a whole lot of sense to you, but this video is hilarious. It's not perfect, but it's basically a shot-by-shot remake of the field football. What the hell do they call it in the movie? I forget, but with Tom Cruise and the gang, Miles Teller, all them. Out on the beach playing football, doing a little team bonding. These guys doing the same thing with head coach Jeff Brom, and it looks like some offensive linemen, some other random guys. They're all out. Enough talking. I will let the video kind of talk for itself here. Vibes are immaculate.
All right.
Even got like the golden glow, everything like golden hour. There's the Why are they all in jeans? This is Tom Cruise in the movie walking away.
What's going on here?
We're just out here playing some ball.
Why are we doing this?
We're creating a team, Brady. Here's our team.
I ain't worried about it.
It's well done. It's well executed.
Oh, it is like.
Well
I mean, we
executed.
talked about production quality earlier, guys,
that's-
and like, don't
that
get me
is-
wrong, that Wayne State media team, they knocked out that little uniform reveal. This shit is next level. Like,
Looks
we're
like what-
talking a lot of pre-production, a lot of planning. You got a full-fledged shot list and pre-visualizations going on. You matching color grades. You're doing. This is big time. And
It looks
when
like
you're
Hollywood
when you do
somewhat
this-
Somewhat
or
like
something,
the look they had, the dressing
Exactly.
vibe. Like,
Exactly. All the vibes are like just right there, man. And I love, of course, the coach is Tom Cruise in the remake, which is just fucking hilarious. There's the wait a minute. Wait, let me go. I need to see it. That's the infamous the Miles Teller, and I don't. It's a little bit of a
who
lazy.
is that? The guy kind of looks like
It's
him.
a little. He does. I'm assuming that's why he was chosen
Yeah.
for
Who
the
is
role.
it?
I don't know. If you want to pull up, Jimmy, pull up a roster. We need to know. Or
We'll have to
Trevor.
try to name
I
the.
got it.
Trevor, someone
Trevor,
pull up a
you got it,
roster.
yeah.
Why does it look like Marcus Mariota is playing for the Louisville Cardinals in this?
Marcus Mariota.
That looks like him to
No, he
me.
does not.
That is
In the
not
face?
Mariota. No.
I'm tweaking that apparently. But who is? We got to find that out. But the Miles Teller dance is on point. Well, I don't know why. I don't think in the movie they're not in, like all in jeans, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe they are. But the jeans was absolutely hilarious. Vibes absolutely immaculate in this. But the one question for me, you guys, first of all, he's a new head coach here. He's an alum. I believe he played quarterback for the Cardinals back in the day. Ever since Lamar obviously won the Heisman, they've been going in and out of mediocrity. ACC, correct?
Yes.
And you know what? For a first-year head coach to be doing this, it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. And he's not obviously worried about kind of some of the images that that come with this, or kind of the narrative that comes along with this. You think other ACC teams, are they eating this up, or do they fucking hate this? That's the question I wanted to actually
think it
just pose to you
Probably
guys.
depends on,
I mean, there's not like
They're-
it's not-
if I'm sitting here- if I'm
who's
sitting here-
Louisville's biggest rival?
I'm
Kentucky.
That'd be Kentucky for sure.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait,
But they're
not even in the
SEC,
same-
But I know, but that's still a big rivalry. It's in state.
I
you
think
know,
it's
but-
Kentucky, but
yeah.
I don't know.
well,
Oh,
like,
definitely it's Kentucky.
Yeah.
If I, here's the thing,
You are
though.
right. They're SEC though, which I
Yeah.
understand, but I do believe that's their. I don't know about in conference rival though.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
not
they
sure.
haven't been quite as
Clemson.
Probably.
Is Clemson their biggest rival?
Probably.
I'm
Think
not
about
sure
the
about
ACC,
that.
not Duke,
Yeah.
not
It's gotta
Wake
be-
Forest.
It's gotta be Clemson, probably. Yeah.
It might be
I mean,
in conference.
Not
maybe.
Syracuse.
Yeah. I don't know. Syracuse might be.
No, but definitely.
I mean, they're not shitting on them or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they would give it. I don't really think they would give a shit.
Yeah, if I'm sitting here, if I'm like one of Louisville's rival players and I'm just watching this, I'm like, hey, this is still pretty cool. I mean, I'm not just gonna sit here and act like it's not cool. But
You think so, or are guys really watching this like these fucking? Yeah, like I'm gonna light this dude up, and then they're definitely.
that's how I
Oh,
would-
they're
I think
so
they're just-
getting
they're just-
chirped for this, right? Like
I mean,
you
they're just
have
kind of
to.
having fun. I guess I don't know.
Oh, I love it, but like I just know that my opinion sometimes is not of those
Yeah.
who are, you know what I mean, the
Facts.
guys who are going to be playing.
It's easy
these
for us
guys.
to say, too,
Yeah, exactly. I think it's pretty easy for us. Either way, hats off. Do we have any confirmation on who is doing the Miles Teller dance? Because this is going to make or break my night. Trevor, go.
I have failed because their roster, you have to click each guy individually
To see a picture,
to see a picture.
That's crazy.
Louisville do better,
That's
He
crazy.
just made a freaking minute and a half masterpiece, and
but we can't see a picture on a roster.
It's probably on the desktop version or something. You probably.
I feel like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a quarterback. But I'm
Let
looking.
me,
I'm getting
I'll do
quarterback
it. I'll
vibes from
do
that
it.
kid
I'll
too.
do it.
He's definitely probably a quarterback, but I could be wrong.
Here we go. Louisville football roster. This needs. Is it Jack Plummer? Jack Plummer's first team all name as well. Oh, it's Jack Plummer, guys.
Let me see.
Oh, guys, it's
Wasn't
Jack
he at
Plummer.
Purdue with Brom
Yes,
before?
this is Jack
Yeah,
Plummer. Look at Jack Plummer right here.
Definitely him.
This is definitely Plummer. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's our guy right
Yeah.
there. There. I mean, that's Miles Teller. I mean, Jack
we
Plummer.
gotta tag him in this.
We might have to throw Plummer. Yeah. I mean, hey,
he definitely, you know.
shout out to Plummer. He hit that shit.
Hey, yeah.
Atta boy. Him and the cards.
Nice. Hey, you didn't see Jack Reiger
That's
in that
funny.
video, did you? Because he's at Louisville right now.
Yeah, I don't imagine he made the cut for the video.
I don't know. I didn't see him in there. But shout out Reiger, Louisville. Yes, you guys didn't even play with him, did you?
No.
Nope. They have no idea who that is.
I don't know who that is.
he was at Northern. He was like dark. He was like him and
then,
Doctor.
and then made his way over there. Yeah, but nope. I don't imagine he made the cut for that one. But that's all for Division I Rejects. Thank you everybody very much for tuning in, and we'll be back on Tuesday with another great episode.